Welcome back to the PGL Major Offline Qualifier. The final road, of course, on the steps to reach the PGL Major Championship itself, held in Krakow in just a few weeks' time. Very excited for that, of course, but still plenty of Counter-Strike to get through before we get there, and plenty of walls to knock down for the teams. Next up in the Swiss format, again in the lower side, two teams that lost on the first day, looking to bounce back immediately, and they've got plenty of form on each other, haven't they, over the years? Might have been different lineups, but still a spicy affair between Renegades and TyLoo. And we're back at the desk once more. We've got Janko and Natu back with us. Natu, it's always cool when these two teams clash for whatever reason. It doesn't really matter what the lineups are. They always seem to have this incredible clash of styles, great run and gun. It's a bit chaotic. It's not like high quality Counter-Strike, but it's bloody fun to watch.
Yeah, it all started last year at the Asian Minor in South Korea, where these two teams were facing one another. It was TyLoo came out on top. That same trend continued for the E-League Major minors as well.
Yep.
That's TyLoo again won. And finally, for this one, Renegades managing to...
Against the odds this time round. I mean,
exactly.
They weren't expected to do well.
Yeah, they started off pretty rough in that minor as well, and then gradually become better as the tournament went along to eventually win it against TyLoo. So it should be a good one, definitely.
Yeah, it should be fun. If there's a clash of a couple of players, Janko, that you're looking forward to, BnTeT has to stand out, doesn't he? As a player, we want to see how he gets on against these big international teams. But we've already seen him play before against Renegades.
Yeah, I mean, we finally get to see him, against international opposition and in a proper LAN environment, because online he has had some insane games and everyone was thinking like, who is this guy? Can he repeat the same type of performance? But with TyLoo, it does seem to be very up and down at times. Captain Mo at times can have brilliant games, at times some questionable
I don't
decisions.
know about brilliant games, but brilliant rounds, and then insane rounds where you just go, what?
Kinda,
that was yesterday, wasn't it? It was nuts.
Kind of applies to both teams, to be honest with you. Feels like.
Yeah.
But when it comes to TyLoo, even within a span of one round or 30 seconds of it, you can see brilliance and disaster. It's unbelievable. But it's fun to watch.
I was going to say that's all part of the fun to watch, isn't it? If anyone stood out to you yesterday on this team, who would it be? TyLoo.
On TyLoo?
Yeah. Other than what we've already talked about with BnTeT, but
I think Mo with the 1v3 and
that was fantastic
a couple
yesterday.
of a play like that. Again, he also had that questionable saving play, but there's definitely going to be a need for performances like that. Some clutch rounds, some rounds that they are probably not supposed to win. They'll have to try and bring that back.
Yeah, but the positive thing for me, at least, compared to previous TyLoo, or like before we saw them in the minor compared to this, is that they seem more calm and collected when it comes to retakes. Still work to do in terms of, especially their T side, afterplan situation, having the right angles, kind of reacting off of one another. If someone's taking a fight, make sure your teammate is playing accordingly to help him out. That's the kind of thing they really need to be working on. Yeah. But when it comes to retakes, they really thought about what they were doing. They would be calmly boosting behind smokes, to make peaks and actually trying to do things as a unit. So definitely progression there.
Do you think that would take away from some of the style that they have and some of the panache on entering
in a way, yes.
Because you kind of like, I don't want to take away from that. I don't want to lose that at the same time as doing. But they've also got Peacemaker in the background. Obviously not
again,
behind
there's a
them,
fine line between genius and insanity, right? So
and we get both.
We kind of do.
Which is fun, like we said to before. What is the impact of having Peacemaker in the background? Obviously not behind them as a raw coach as we're used to seeing, but he's there in the background. He's talking to them. He's already talked about the fact they have great respect for his views. They're already listening to him. They're trying to take on board what he's done. But honestly, it's just a few days.
Yeah, true, but Peacemaker is someone who has been in the Western scene for a while and knows the play style of these teams, knows their tendencies as well, and something that TyLoo is lacking at times is discipline and how to play out those maybe 4v4s or 5v4s where you have some pretty basic rules. We've talked about it previously here on the desk. So he can be the one who before the game is going to say, okay guys, remember when you have a 5v4, when you get an early pick with an op, perhaps don't let them refrag, just buy time a little bit until the in-game leader calls what he wants you to do. Don't give away an advantage very early on. In clutches, communicate. Don't try to make a play by yourself, play off of your teammates, things like that.
Okay, there is one other man whose opinion I value greatly when it comes to Asia Counter-Strike, and that is Blair, so let's hear from him now on TyLoo.
TyLoo had a pretty rough beginning of the year. They lost two of their best players. They lost Fancy, they lost Attacker, and of course they lost their coach, Kasa, who was, one of the main forces behind their wins last year. Some of the big upset wins they had against Na'Vi. They had a great win against Luminosity as well, the Brazilians back then. And losing these players it just kind of put a cloud around the team. You didn't know what was going to happen to them. There was still Captain Mo, there was still somebody, and Didi, but they were still lacking two players. They didn't know who to pick up. They picked up a player, HZ, from, I think it was from All Gamers, one of the other Chinese teams, and everyone's like, okay, that's an interesting pickup. He really hasn't shown anything interesting yet. And then, in a move which I haven't seen at all in Chinese CSGO, or Counter-Strike for that matter, they picked up a player who's not a Chinese. They picked up BnTeT, one of the most promising young players who come out of Asia, an Indonesian playing in a team called Reka, and they just picked him up out of nowhere, and everyone was like, what? Like, why? Like, how does that affect the communication? He doesn't speak Chinese. They don't speak English that well. How's this going to work out? And the first few online events they played, they looked pretty promising. And then the first LAN they played, I think, with BnTeT was the China Cup, where he took on Fnatic Academy in the grand finals, if memory serves me right. And BnTeT just went absolutely ham, and everyone just stood up, took attention of him. They're like, okay, this guy might be the real deal. And the minor, we just, if anyone watched the minor, you've seen it. BnTeT was pretty much the MVP on almost, I think, 80% of the maps TyLoo played. He really stepped it up, and he was really the key player in almost every matchup TyLoo played. And TyLoo, let's talk about them a bit. They had a great group start. The group stage is really good for TyLoo. Then they got knocked out in the lower bracket. And on the final day, they played 3 best-of-3s, destroyed Flash Gaming, their rivals, so to speak, in the Chinese scene. They completely destroyed Immunity, and in the final best-of-3, they finally fell to Renegades in overtime, the 3rd map. So this is a team who have the mental fortitude, they have the firepower. Only thing lacking right now, I would say, in the team would be a little bit more tactical depth, a little bit more discipline when it comes to knowing when not to take some fights, when not to overpeak, and how to manage your economy a little bit better.
The words of Blair there. Thank you very much, of course, for helping us out on this offline qualifier, some insight into TyLoo. Let's talk about their opponents, gents, Renegades. It was often talked about as an experiment many years ago when they moved out of Australia. They kind of geographically challenged down there, weren't getting the competition that they wanted, moved to Europe, moved to North America, obviously. Has it been a success? Could we say it's been a success, considering that if they hadn't broken out, what would have been the result?
I feel if you ask the players, they would probably say no to an extent. But for me, it has, because you need to look at it from that aspect, right? If they stayed in Australia, how much would we see from them? I think it would be probably limited only to the minors, and then when they come to the major qualifier. This way they at least had presence in North America, playing in some of the online leagues, attending a couple of at least tournaments that were held there, for which they were able to qualify for or were invited for. Just look at it, how many other teams have we seen from Australia? Almost none during that period, maybe Immunity once or twice, and now when we had Sydney, we saw Chiefs. So I think from that side of things, it's definitely been a success of putting these players and Australia on the map to an extent.
In terms of where they are right now, they're in a bit of a transitional period with these 2 new players. It's only been a couple of months. I think people sometimes forget that. Yeah. They did well to get out of the minor in many respects, because you rightly pointed out earlier on, they didn't start very well at all in the group stages. In fact, they looked pretty rough. Only apart from the fact of 1 or 2 very outstanding performances, particularly Nifty stood out at the Asia Minor. Do they need more than that to get them through this qualifier?
Yeah, they definitely do. They have some fundamental issues when it comes to, especially playing against anti-ecos, the kind of scruffy buys, decision making in those kind of rounds seem iffy. Sometimes they either just push too fast in the bomb sites, or they just basically kind of outsmart themselves in their overthinking situations. So 2 extremes to an extent, right? They need to find the right balance into how to approach those kind of rounds. And yeah, I mean, if you think about it, this team right now has some pretty solid tools. The JKs and Azar have been playing solid. Now Nifty has really, I think he's been like the surprise package for me in the last couple of months of a player that's actually really, really capable of doing as many things as he has. Opping, being an in-game leader for this team. Very, very modest combination, of course.
Yep.
And then Nexa, I think it's been a pretty stable player. Nothing amazing, but still being a part of the crew and making it work. And actually at this tournament, Ustilo was looking pretty good in the first outing they had. So yeah, I mean they definitely have the tools.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't like they got thrashed in the first game. They lost 19-16 in overtime. The flip side, who we know are always a good team when it comes to qualifying for the major. So they just have to put that out of their mind and start fresh today and think 3 more wins. That's the same as we had yesterday.
That's the thing, and it's a big question mark for Renegades whether they will be able to actually do so, right? It was a game that was basically theirs to lose to an extent after such a good score in the first half. But the thing is, like, this is a team that's still relatively young. Like, the new players, Nifty and X, are very, very young. Nifty is the in-game leader, you know, an emotional player as well. So in a tournament like this, in an environment like this, you have to be able to keep those emotions in check, right? Not allow them to take over and you to get frustrated and then lose multiple rounds because of one round where you or some of your teammates made a mistake and you're just replaying that round in your head. You need to be able to shift focus and have the mindset of, okay, like, we are here, whatever we do, but the most important thing is to win the game. So whichever round we lose, let's just focus on winning the next one. Let's try to think of a way to make the best play and win the next round.
Okay, we're going to hear from the coaches in just a moment. I've always thought about this in the past. How do we separate teams if they finish level at the end of the game? Why not just have a 1v1 between the coaches? Fight it out. Pala, you're the referee.
I will be trying to settle the 1 versus 1 right now for you, Paul. Double trouble. We've got, of course, on my right, TyLoo's coach, Luis Peacemaker, and on my left, Cassard of Renegades. Guys, yesterday, both of you, unfortunately, had to face losses. Both of you having overtimes. What happened against Liquid?
I think against Liquid, we made a couple mistakes, especially on the way of finishing the rounds. And really, like I said, it's just a few fundamentals that we lacked right now, and we're trying to figure out, trying to fix it. But overall, honestly, I think we played better than Liquid during the match. I think that if we fix these small mistakes that we did, we should be able to beat Liquid way more comfortable. And but yeah, Liquid is a very experienced team, and they just punish all the mistakes you do, and we did too many mistakes, so that's pretty much what happened.
After the match yesterday and last night, did you get a chance to speak to your team and go over things?
Yeah, we immediately after the match, we went over the demo to watch the things that happen, and this is what makes us improve a lot, and they are very acceptable to learning and to listening to every criticize or everything they need to learn. And yesterday, I think it was very productive. Like, we spent like an hour or 2 hours just talking about the Liquid match, and we improved a lot from it, I can feel. And yeah, also we just prepared for Renegades.
Moving on to you, Cassard. Yesterday, you guys were so far ahead of Flipside, but then unfortunately for you, they came back and took it into overtime and won. What happened?
Well, I don't know. We played really good that map, but like some misfortunate things happened to us, like small mistakes by our side, like few misthrown flashes, and the fact that I had to use some of our timeouts early on, that to make some adjustments on CT side, so I didn't have timeouts in overtime, so I was kind of powerless there to do anything. And small stuff just lost us the game, like the same like TyLoo did. We watched our game immediately after we went back to hotel. We figured out what was wrong. We fixed it, like by talking. And today we got the map that we wanted. So I guess it's a new day and it's time for a new victory, I guess.
Yeah, and what will be different in your approach today? I mean, Renegades have a history now against TyLoo at certain points. And so do you feel comfortable going up against these guys?
Well, TyLoo are kind of dangerous team, you know. They have this attitude where they don't give a crap about flashes or smokes. They just run, and that's a dangerous thing against anybody. If you cannot handle it, it can be really, really dangerous, especially in the best of ones. So we kind of pay attention to that as well, because we played them on minor like 6 maps, and 6 maps they had the same thing going on. So we kind of had to adjust on that, and luckily we'll be able to handle that today and hopefully win.
All right, well, guys, best of luck. Please do shake each other's hands and head back to your teams. Paul, it's going to be very exciting. Can't wait to see how this one pans out.
Yes, it is. That's the thought I share with you, Paolo, as well, is that this will be very exciting. As they said in that interview, they've played 6 maps before. It's not been that long ago, just a couple of weeks ago, with the minor. So with that in mind, as we head in towards the veto, you've got to be thinking that they know each other, but there's the peacemaker factor here. How much can he change them?
I mean, through the time, it's always been Cash, Cobble, and Mirage, and then there's been a couple of overpasses along the way, but most of those 3 maps are the ones that they played, but it's been best of 3s, now we're going to the best of 1. Regardless, we're going to end up in a middle ground kind of a map where both teams are comfortable, and it seems like it's going to be Cash. Yeah, it kind of fits for both teams, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. There are some permabans in there, like Nuke, for example. TyLoo also getting rid of Cobblestone. It's probably Renegade's best map at the moment. And Renegades are the other side of things. No Mirage, no Inferno, maybe because of the strong performance yesterday against Liquid. And in the end, when they get to pick between Cash and Overpass, Cash is the better bet for them. And what's interesting here is that actually TyLoo decides not to veto it at some point at least, because that's the map which they played in both of those best of 3s, and Renegades won both times. And again, it's the philosophy we always talk about. You're playing the map that you beat the team on before. They're going to look back on it, prepare. I think that's the advantage that Peacemaker can bring to TyLoo, right? Them together, maybe we're thinking, okay, if we leave Cash in, they're going to go for that map. Let's just prepare for it as hard as we can, try to counter them, and then try to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't just got demos to go back and watch. They haven't just got VODs to go back and watch. They've got personal experience from those 2 times they've played them on the map. They know what they're going to have to fix, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Renegades was really good at taking checkers control, for example, executed those beat bombs, keeping them honest over there, but then also really powerful going just for the mid controls and just a lot of variety basically. But something that really springs to my mind is just the way they managed to make it hard for TyLoo to be playing that beat bomb site.
Yeah, one of the other things that stood out in those Asia Minor Championship matches was that they were able to shut down BnTeT, or at least keep him quiet as well. Whether that was avoiding him on the map or whether that was taking him on 1v1 or 2v1, whatever it needed to get rid of him, they were able to keep him quiet in that match. Do you think it's a similar focus?
I mean, you kind of have to. If you look at its team, also someone that actually wasn't really present yesterday in the game. Still a close affair against Liquid, so that's a positive sign for TyLoo. If somebody is going to have a better game, they're going to have a better chance at this one here. But BnTeT obviously is a focus point, and I mean, you can't think of it too much, obviously, but it's about you playing well as a unit. That's where you kind of have to rely on that silencing and individually going super ham. If he has a godlike game, then he has a godlike game. That's all you can do about it.
All we can do is go to the other bomb site.
Yeah, that's something. It's tactics that has been used back in the days.
Hey, I mean, we heard it from Penta. HS had a great game, so we just played for him. Flashing him in, letting him go in first.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, we'll see as we head into the game start, which is just moments away. So let's send you over to our commentary team for game number 3. It is, of course, the one and only Anderson Semler.
Thank you very much, Paul. And yes, indeed, we are ready. Game 3. It's been a wild morning, hasn't it? Like, truly wild. Both the American teams losing and just, upsets all around. This game, Renegades. I was obviously rooting for Markov yesterday, and they ended up winning flip side against Renegades. But honestly, the individual skill for this Renegades team is actually quite impressive. Like, when I think about it, I don't know why they lost Train. They shouldn't have lost Train.
No, that felt to me just, it was like vintage Renegades, actually. Just unable to actually capitalize on advantages and leads. And this is something that we've seen from Renegades in the past, where they do struggle at times to close games, even when they have a dominant lead. It's happened where they just lose the thread, and then all of a sudden, they're in a close game again, and then they just lose.
Yeah. JKS is an absolute beast. It's real pleasure to watch him play. Nifty, really, really quick as well. They definitely have skill, and I don't know, like Nexa's had some great shots. He's also on point. I feel like they should be able to beat TyLoo, who do have BnTeT, who's been playing, well. He seems to be sort of an up-and-coming star of the region. But I don't know, like this is going to be, it's going to be an unpredictable game again. But I would have to favor Renegades here.
What's going to be interesting for me is to see if TyLoo can rein back that aggression, because they're very good at managing to play as a unit and find like an edge in a round, right? Get that man advantage, right? It's then that they decide to start making interesting decisions, such as, we're just going to keep over-peaking, or we're going to start looking for duels, or we're going to be over-aggressive, we're going to hunt when we don't need to. And this is the sort of stuff that actually just really comes back to haunt them and cost them maps. And so both of these teams got a lot of experience against one another. Renegades should be expecting that kind of thing to come from TyLoo. But the question is whether TyLoo are going to be able to deal with this, like, this nifty and this revitalized JKS. JKS has always had it in him, man. It just feels like it's been so long since we've seen that, like, Gfinity, where he really had an incredible tournament, and we're just like, whoa, JKS, is this it? Is this the time of the Aussies, right? And then he kind of just, it feels like he's driven by confidence. Like, he just lost his confidence, and we haven't really seen too much of that high-impact, high-fragging JKS.
Yeah, I feel like this almost has to be the test for some of these players to decide, you know, are we going to keep the Australian Union going? Or if this doesn't work, do we just try and make, like, a better lineup with other American players? And then, you know, and then scratch the whole Aussie thing. Just, I mean, as fun as it isn't worth keeping around if they can actually win big tournaments. Having JKS with maybe a bunch of, you know, other people from the North American scene, and then, you know, having that kind of thing going on. I'm not saying that's time yet. I think Renegades are actually quite an exciting team, but this tournament, I think, is the test for me anyway, where I sort of start to think, you know, either they're going to do this and qualify, and then it's worth it, but if not, then they've got to find a way to switch it out and do something better with the players that they have, you know.
I'm just curious to see how much time TyLoo have had to work with Peacemaker now. A little bit more now. I mean, on the first day, it would have been a bit of a stretch to expect massive changes and incredibly improved play, you know, Peacemaker having an impact. But Peacemaker's now had an extra 24 hours to at least start working on some basics with the team, perhaps things that he's picked up on. So I'm curious to see if we'll see a little bit more of a refined TyLoo here, just marginally refined, right?
Well, I mean, for someone like Peacemaker, again, the best-of-1 format plays so heavily in favor of this kind of thing, because he can just put all of his time into, you know, one team, and then tomorrow he can do the same and get to them again. So, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a big, I think, pickup for TyLoo in that sense, even though he's been much criticized. It will be starting on the T side, TyLoo and Renegades on the CT side. This is game number 3 of day 2 of the PGL Major Qualifier. It has been a mad day already, and we're not even anywhere near the end. So if you're just joining us, then stick around. There's going to be so much fun in the upcoming games as well. I mean, somewhere out there's like G2 vs Cloud9 waiting. That's going to be a crazy game, but you never know. It doesn't have to be the craziest one. This is what I love about this format and what I love about this whole thing in particular. Now, they're playing retake on A, Samla.
Yeah, and this is a hard retake on A. Interesting. It's not the common one that we see where Nifty, we would expect to see him at car all the way back, and then it's more of a stack towards that B side. Here it's been a focus on mid, a focus on B. And while Nifty still manages to find a key kill, a headshot on Mo, gives his team a man advantage going into this retake, Renegade should have everything going for him now.
Look at how quick he is. This is madness. He's just controlling the forklift, and this is really good. Look at how much space he's buying his teammates to get in. Somebody gets a kill, but he's going to be going down. Nifty looking for more headshots. He's going to land one on Didi, and now it's a 2-1-2. HZ hiding in the back line, takes down Nifty finally. It's a 1-on-1, and he's going to get the second kill. HZ with a triple overall to save TyLoo, and they make that work, in spite of Nifty really doing his best, I think.
And TyLoo having a tremendous amount of utility to make that work. They weren't really ready for a brawl all out. It was much more about the coordination with the flashes, using those nades. They still had, look, the bomb is planted. They still had 2 flashes from DD and a smoke on somebody just to try and stumble Renegades. Renegades were the ones looking for a brawl, nearly full Kevlar. And yet still, with a man advantage, Renegades not able to make the retake work. That's so painful. Yeah, you can see a little bit of the frustration there. Renegades, I think they feel like they should have had that one in the bag. Interesting, though. Look at this. This isn't something that we see every day, Anders. I mean, we do have the flash, but it's pretty much a hard eco coming in here from Renegades.
Yeah, I think that's been the trend. Like, it's been the game has been trending towards that now for a bit, and it sort of makes sense. You know, you want the full buy on the 4th round. You really need the utility. You really want to make sure, especially if you're the favorite team. I think there's no reason to take any really crazy risks. You know, it's a best of 1, so you've got to do your best. They were flashed into middle, and tragically they found nobody.
Right, the timing was just off. Because now HZ has been boosted up. He'll spot the man on short. A little bit of a present there. The HG! So much damage to JKS, down to 35. Molotov to follow it up. And HZ, I mean, he's being thorough. He's checking angles, but that will eventually cost him his life. Somebody, this is all about timing. Does he get the peek? Oh, come on.
Oh, wow. Nifty makes the jump in the middle of a match. That's incredibly rare. I love this player just a little bit more every day. That is actually so difficult, even if you're doing that on a local server, you know, where you've got, you know, absolutely no MS at all, and then still making that jump could be very tricky. somewhere out there, there's a couple of KSET players really happy. Launders, maybe?
Yeah, I was about to
Loving
say,
it.
Boxer, bit of a grin there.
Oh, Nifty's gone down for all of his trickery and all of the parkour. Eventually, still going to end up falling as an out. Sadar ends up dropping to DD.
Hits the headshot there, too. DD wiping the sweat off his brow. That was a bit too close for comfort, but TyLoo, they will manage to recover despite the awkward play in mid. 2-0 lead now for TyLoo. And again, very limited buy coming out here from Renegades. Nifty will invest that $200 in the flash. And this time it's going to be P250s pretty much across the board here for Renegades. So they'll be doing a little bit more damage. As HZ have. Okay, he still has his Galil. It's looking like TyLoo, rinse and repeat perhaps for them. Leave DD to lurk around B-Hall's mid. No, somebody is going to be there to change it up a little bit. It's very similar to what we saw from the pistol round so far.
This time they have 2 flashbangs in the middle. I would absolutely love it if they threw one and then Nifty threw his last. Just sort of a fake once and then actually went for it. But either way, they're a bit late again. The timing is just slightly off. BnTeT doing the best that he can, but he will eventually go down. The AK might be recoverable. They're going to get one, and if they can get the second too, and the bomb is right there, that's potentially a big win here for Renegades.
That was such a sick nade. The bank right onto Estillo. And DD takes down Nifty. That flank coming through, but Estillo doing a lot of damage here. DD, a little bit of trouble for him.
The jump, get you killed every single time. Bit of a shame, but still some damage has been inflicted to the TyLoo team. They lost 2 AKs. That in itself is annoying. And now Renegades, because they didn't buy any armor in the second round, they have plenty to buy in this one, including an AWP and a lot of utility. Depending on the situation, I kind of prefer this style. This is the one that Astralis has been trending towards for a while, and some teams are following and some are not. But I think if you're the better team, it makes sense to play it really safe and just say, listen, we're just going to have a perfect 4th round buy. Nothing is going to really be saved on, and we'll be ready. I say nothing, but they are lacking head armor on a couple of people, and against the Galil, that could be very dangerous. Mo will get the kill on AZR, and it's around 4-on-4.
That was a real lucky trade there, however. The fact that Mo was there to bring that back, because that was the bomb dropped in A main. That was perfect for him. Called for the follow-up flash as well. He spotted him the first time, just didn't commit. That reflash, though, doing big work, and Estillo catches. What? Doesn't get the kill on DD. Mo, 2 big kills for him.
Oh, it's unforgivable. Somebody going to get the frag, running into the fire to celebrate, apparently. And Nifty and JKS, 2 versus 4. Just going to have to back off, I believe. That's really hard, you know, if you're still on that point in time. You don't get that many chances like that. You know, you again, best of 1 format. That might have been 1 out of maybe 2 or 3 times that you can throw that away and then the game is gone, you know. So, a bit scary.
No fun whatsoever. And that's, man, for Renegades, it really felt like you needed to have a strong start here for them. A lot of these players, they rely on confidence heavily. Azza, that's been, I mean, one of his weaknesses for a long time, in the sense that if he struggles against a team, it's really hard for him to get his game going. So he really needs that strong start at the beginning, just to get that confidence rolling, and then he can turn into that wrecking ball. Instead, it will be a final kill. BnTeT getting caught. But still, 3 players surviving here for TyLoo. Leaves them in a pretty decent spot economically. We should see the force buy out of Renegades, though, now, to be fair. I mean, they have Nifty, 3,000. They can drop 2 rifles or UMPs. Hell, they can drop 3 UMPs easy.
Yeah, and that's sort of the style that they're going for here. I'll see if Nifty could do anything with the AWP. Bit less fear in running into the middle since the body wall bang has been removed. Although, I say removed, but heavily nerfed. There is still another one that works, that people have been showing on Reddit. So it's not impossible, but, you know, less effective, let's put it like that. Yeah. Hiding on top of the lamp. I love this position, and I actually tried for a while to talk players into using it, because I think even if you smoke main, you can still look over that smoke from that position. So quite cool to see people doing that. I love it.
They've been really having quite a bit of fun over here on the A side, TyLoo. Bit of the rinse and repeat coming in from them. This time it's Mo taking point. HZ has got his back. Let's see, does he spot it? Yes, he does. Check. And he wins the fight. Mo, another key headshot for him.
It's really big. You could even see he was hesitating for a bit because he didn't see anyone initially. They kept his aim on point anyway. That's just really good play. Oh, somebody has been allowed to sneak far into the site, but Nifty's there. Edge of the smoke, still gets the kill, and JKS will pick up HC. So now 3 versus 4, 40 seconds left. Flashbang doesn't really go far enough for JKS, but there is a flash from inside of the site where Nexa is holding. We have not really seen anything out of him, so it's about time with the UMP. Gonna pick up a kill at least, but JKS also went down, so still a 2-on-2 with just 25 seconds left.
And now Nifty, he's got that high angle. They're out of utility. They have a single Molotov here, and that's on BnTeT, and he's going to get caught. Nifty just going all out aggressive. DD having to worry about checkered, it looks like. Ends up costing him, but this is still a winnable situation. 10 seconds left. If he can just cross onto the site.
He can't.
Nifty not going to allow it. Nifty, that's some confidence right there. He's leading in kills for his team. And Renegades, they finally get a round on the board.
It's so good. I mean, having that kind of, I would say, if I had to ascribe a role to that kind of player, I'd say a playmaker. Someone who, and there are some players out there that seem to be able to cut through like any kind of funk that's going on the team. Like even if they're in a weird place, some of these players, they will just sort of cut right through it and play anyway. You love seeing that. I always thought that was the strength of someone like Mike Kelele when he was on NIP, like even if they were in a weird place, just be able to sort of step it up. But yeah, 6th round here, and Renegades have finally picked up their first one. Largely largely due to Nifty just having a really good time. 3 kills in that round, I believe.
Yeah, well, that's what you hope that your Opera is going to be able to accomplish when he gets that sniper rifle. BnTeT worried, and it looks like it will be that delayed boost. Perhaps H said he has been boosted before. Got the nade to sandbags.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that angle.
Yeah, because usually what happens is people either throw it from middle or they get up on the boost and then they just bounce it into the corner. But that one's actually kind of interesting.
They're just so slow with the boost afterwards that even if there is somebody there, they're not really there to capitalize on it, TyLoo, to punish him for that. DD, somehow, Ursula will be able to get it up on the follow-up. But Mo, again, a duel and won by him. 4-on-4, heading straight onto A. Azza and Nifty both here alive, however, and JKS will find a kill.
Yeah, coming up from middle, they just... Great idea to take highway that quickly, but they needed more control in the middle, like a Molotov or a smoke. Maybe there was a smoke and JKS just ran through it, I'm not sure, but regardless, that's a pretty powerful double. Shutting down the round, essentially. BnTeT here in a lot of trouble with just 17 seconds left. There's no way he should be allowed to get the bomb and plant it, but he will get the kill on Nifty at least. It's the AWP down now. He's picking up the bomb. They should be close enough that they can stop this, because he can't fake it anymore. He's going to try and hold it down, and they're running right on top of him. So that's what you want. They save the AWP. They win the round. Renegades now 2-4. That's good. Good play.
Yeah, and a bomb plant as well. So there's some options here for TyLoo. They can go for the force, or they can go and just go. They can just kind of invest a little bit, P250, a couple of nades, try and run right at him, and then they can have that AWP going in the next round here for TyLoo if they want it. Mo sitting at 8 kills right now, and a lot of those have been pretty brutal. Opening frags onto sites, key shots. JKS with the perfect timing, however, that was sick. Nobody watching connector, and just a little bit of frustration there for sure. That's not the kind of mistake you want to be making when you're going for that A execute from mid.
No, definitely not. That's so important, and I like the speed that they had behind it, though. I think that's a cool idea. Most people do that sort of slowly. Now, pushing into main, Nifty in some trouble, and Mo is going to get another kill in. BnTeT coming out of the squeak door, and suddenly, from having almost nothing, they've turned around in their favor. They're playing a 2-on-3. This is unforgivable for Renegades. They must win this round back, and they've got a chance hiding behind there, and I think they're actually boosted on top. Oh, they were just boosted, but now they've fallen off it. That's a bit of a shame. That would have been a big pick-off. They could have got it. BnTeT playing right at the edge, not getting the kill just yet, but he will pick up Nexa, and that leaves JKS 1 versus 3 with the defuse kit and no grenades, and he's going to get shot down. 3rd kill of the round for Mo. That's a huge round for TyLoo.
It's agony. Agony for Renegades, and Estillo in particular. You get the perfect flash on them, and he commits to it. That's the main thing. He pushes out, but the problem is it comes down to split seconds. If he's a split second earlier, he gets 1, maybe 2. problem is that by the time he gets there, they're already regaining their vision. So he gets killed for free, and that's just exactly what TyLoo want. They wanted to just have that opening kill and then to just cascade onto the site. It couldn't have gone better there for TyLoo. And so, yeah, Renegades, I mean, if you're still, you're kind of kicking yourself there. That's a tough break for yourself. For you, you know, just the timing didn't work. The timing didn't work out for you that time.
Some lovely zoom going on.
It's very like fluid, isn't it?
Yeah, PGL are by a really wide margin the champions of this sort of stuff. It's quite cool. 8th round here, and you're right. But then you have to ask the question. You know you've just won 2 rounds in a row. So you could maybe guess that they wouldn't have that much money. Is it worth going aggressive in a round like that, you know? If they just feel it out eventually, they're going to realize, oh, they have next to nothing. They have a UMP or something on BnTeT, that's it. So maybe a miscalculation for Renegades, ever so slightly.
That HE certainly, it had like guidance system there, man. 44 HP left on Nifty. That's a bit painful. Next, going to get Toasty over in checkered. And it looks like TyLoo deciding to change things up instead of repeatedly hitting that A site. They have gotten mid control, so they can. I mean, Renegades are a little bit worried about that, but this is a stack on the B site.
Why are you doing this? This makes no sense at all. 8 goes all the way up highway, and he's not encountered anyone, and then they say, let's go B. They get the first frag, and that's really important, but I think TyLoo should have kept scouting the A-bomb side. That would have made much more sense. Ustilo goes down as well, and with grenades and everything else, it seems like they are going to be doing a fine job here, although JKS did get 2 kills, and oh no! As it takes down 8 they're going for a bit more. He's very low on health indeed, and they've got him boxed in. He's looking for a close headshot here, but Mo will take him down. It's a very expensive round for TyLoo, and it did not need to be. It's so risk-free for 8 to keep pushing highway when he's got his teammates covering mid anyway. Like, I don't understand what the urgency was for them to go into the B-bomb site. That seemed like a silly idea.
Just the pressure, I suppose, getting to him. Feeling like they need to make the play, make the call, and then just stick to it afterwards. That is commendable, at least. If the in-game leader, you know, he's just like, we got to go, and your team just listens to you, whether it's a good call or not. Small positives. Looking for the silver lining here, Anders.
As you should. This could have definitely been around in this next one.
Jesus.
has already gone down. A good spray from Mo, a triple in fact. And I think they even realized JKS is there, so he's in considerable amount of trouble. Ends up dying 7-2 in favor of TyLoo. Calm it down, Renegades. No tactical timer has been called yet, and you have to wonder why. Like, why not at this point?
They've had one. They've had one. We have to give it to
they've had one, right?
They've had one at least. But the main thing here is that this is where it just feels like they're playing such a different kind of CS. Because you know that teams would be forcing, they'd be trying to go Kevlar pistol, they've been, you know, just hoping to get it done with the pistols. They were close that last round, right? Or the round before that, before Mo got his triple. But now you're putting everything on this one round where you have all the utility. There's a bit of pressure here, a bit of additional pressure that's coming into play here for Renegades. This is a make or break round.
It absolutely is, and right now, Peacemaker's going to be very excited, and Cassandre for sure a little bit annoyed. 7-2. If they don't turn this around, he's going to have to take off the belt and really get ready here, because they need to start winning some rounds.
And that's what the timeout is for. It's time to get savage. Because, yeah, Renegades, I mean, come on. This is also against an opponent. I mean, they come from the same region. Sure, Renegades have been in North America for quite some time now, but I should think that they should be able to do a little bit more damage, have a bit more confidence playing against a team like TyLoo. And already, this time around, that Molotov going to go straight onto Nexa. He's roasting and toasting, and he goes back into it. Is he insane? 14, he's trying to dance right on the line, but that's cost him so much HP.
It's because he thinks they've already boosted up. He said with a great kill on JKS. He thinks they've boosted and they're waiting for him. That's like, it's a real mind game. Oh, yeah. But he still picks up the kill. That's a bit of a weird situation. H said making up for it with a third kill of the round for him, and now Ustilo lurking around the A-bomb site. Had a bit of a tough game, but not that much worse than his teammates actually. About to be 8-2 in favor of TyLoo. This whole day is just upside down day.
Yeah, this is disastrous for Renegades. And again, I mean, given chances, all right, another timeout has been called.
The belt has come off.
The belt might just come off now. I mean, really, and this is what frustrates me about the timing, right, with these Molotovs, like throwing the Molotov before you have the guys boosted, is because Nexa is able to dance there on the edge, and you have to waste time checking sandbags instead of Molotov. Okay, you either kill him or you see that nobody's there. You can focus fully on connector and on short, right? It just adds like an extra step that really that's what the nade is supposed to eliminate, you would think. But
I mean, this might be too much of a commitment, but you almost wish that Molotov would be followed by like a simultaneous HE grenade to that position, and then you just be like, oh, well, I just took 40 damage, and I'm standing in fire, and I can't really move because I'm been slowed by the grenades. Oh.
Nexa's happy that they aren't getting that deep into it.
Yeah. Well, it's a really complicated setup, so... Back to pistols. Renegades, they...
And to be fair, this is where you kind of want to think, like, just, all right, okay, boys, just start forcing it. You need to get some UMPs into the fight. You need to actually start trying to make some plays here.
Yeah, they've got the same setup as they've had 2 other times with Nifty with the flashbang in A, going to flash all the way down highway, and set up for a push middle. It can work. I mean, I think this is still a good idea. Just keep doing that. That's absolutely fine, but it's also very much based on random timing.
Exactly. Minute 20. When does that flash actually come through? It's going to be on Nifty to make that call. Still doesn't have it equipped. He's dancing. And okay, there it is. The smoke going into connector, and it seems like that's going to set it up. But there's a flash on a short. BnTeT, that doesn't help him.
They do flash it in, but now Mo is really far back in defensive, so they get the AK-47. No reason to challenge him any further here, and the bomb is making its way to the B-bomb site. So he need Renegades to get something out of it, but retaking the bomb site is quite a different matter at this point in time. JKS, though, does actually have armor. That does make me a bit interested here. Edge of the shadow, headshot from Justillo. That's a really big pick-off. And he gets the AK and falls back. I mean, someone else can pick it up there. It's actually not bad at all. Somebody trying to go for the spray against TyLoo, but nobody connecting yet. Nifty goes down. Mo with an impressive kill. Bomb is planted, but there's TyLoo getting a second kill on somebody. Now it's a 2-on-2.
Now they have the info as well. Mo's got to be careful about upper, so he's not able to really watch his teammates back. 8-set in Mo, though. Eventually, Mo with the delayed peek, it pays off. Wins the fight versus JKS. And another round picked up here by TyLoo. It doesn't... It's like even against pistols, it feels like Renegades, they're getting so close. They're getting it down to 1 or 2 frags, and yet they aren't able to capitalize. They can't close it.
It's really devastating for Renegades because they obviously can feel that frustration too. Now they've gone into the double AWP setup. If they can win the next 4 rounds, I'm perfectly happy with that. I actually don't even think that's a terrible scoreline for Renegades. This map can be quite T-sided if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think if they get 6 rounds here, they're still in an alright spot. They can still definitely win the game. But now's the time, especially with this heavy investment of the double AWP. We'll see. The money is pretty good for TyLoo, but it's not out of control. If they win 2 rounds here in a row, TyLoo are probably going to be ecoing, and then, yeah, it's game on.
And we're cooking with gas. But now we're going back to a strategy that has been used time and time again by TyLoo, DD in mid, and the split getting prepared here for that A site. And it still gives it away. The AWP is on A. Hoping to get lucky with the timing, but somebody certainly unlucky. 6 HP, wallbang down through the door.
So they know that one of the AWPs is there, but they don't know about the other one. Nifty holding the B-bomb site alone, which allows for a 3rd rotation towards the A-bomb site. Just a huge stack, but oh my god, what a headshot. 8-set taking down SRR, and now Justillo hiding in the back. That Molotov not reaching him, and JKS coming in with a big double kill. That should close the round. The bomb is in the back, and it's a 2-on-4. Renegades don't have to fight this round. They just stay as cool as they can. Nexa gets DD. And Mo, he's been top fragging on this team, but a 1-on-3 is just too much for him, and JKS will get a triple kill. And finally another round here. 3rd one for Renegades.
Yeah, a real clinch moment there when the execute is actually coming through. But Justillo managing to trade HZ so quickly. Renegades were able to maintain that man advantage, and that's all that really mattered at that point. Just grinding TyLoo down. 9-3, 139 ADR for Mo. That's impressive. Whereas JKS is still able to maintain 108. Despite the scoreline, he's still at 12 kills. So he's continuing with his form from yesterday.
Yeah, I think at this point he has shown himself to be a very valuable player in that sense. Like, it really seems like he's almost always there, and yeah, consistency is one of the big issues in Counter-Strike, even at the fairly high level. So quite impressive, really. 13th round, and all the utility you could ever want out of TyLoo, all the grenades and everything. The bank is pretty low though. Like I said, next time they can buy again, but then after that it gets a little bit too thin maybe. Still low. Very dangerous angle, especially because if he tries to fall back, I mean, he's got some backup by the forklift. He misses the shot. How is it possible?
No idea. And somebody wins the duel versus Azza. A man on upper, but TyLoo has got so much time. They don't need to feel rushed about this. They can take their time with it. Somebody right on the edge. There's another shot. They know that the second off is in play now. And this should be a perfect round here for TyLoo. JKS hoping to make an impact. He's close to the smoke, and he could try and dash through.
When he hears the bomb, he just might, but no, he's not going to react to it. There was a Molotov kill. Now he's pushed right underneath. He's going to turn his back, and that's going to be the end of him. Nifty up on top. Almost gets that scope in, but even then, he was a 1-on-4, so he's probably going to die anyway. 10-3. I have to wonder, how you still feel like he's been missing some shots that he can't really afford to miss.
No, look at this. For days, he's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You can see it right there. I mean, that's brutal.
Yeah, that's really brutal.
And now, Renegades, please, just buy. Force. You're playing CSGO.
Yeah. I mean, they are essentially saying, we just want a 4th round by not buying in this one.
Yeah.
And then you have to question, is 11-4 an acceptable scoreline? We have seen comebacks on this map, but still, it's a best of one. TyLoo look really fired up. If they win the pistol, it's sort of game over, you know. So risking a lot, I agree, by not trying to get this round. Bit of an aggressive push coming out here, and I don't know how much BnTeT has really seen, but he's surely going to realize here. So 3 people, they should know, oh, wait, the bomb is right there. That's a bit weird, but otherwise, they could just walk right into B.
And that cuts him off from the AK as well. How frustrated are you if you're Renegades? Like, please, we just want the rifle. Does he get the bomb? Yeah, he has the bomb now. Where are his teammates? What is going on here? There's a smoke in mid. All right, there we go. Somebody finds one. Did he spot the second? He must have seen him. No, I guess not. Well, this is just a weird round.
I agree. You would have wanted someone to come and help out with the bomb. That's incredibly risky. I mean, imagine if the other 2 players that were in middle had been there. They pick up an AK, get the kill on somebody, and then it spirals out. Well, that didn't happen. Too much theory crafting going on here. 15th round, 11-3. What there are going to be a lot of people who have placed bets on these games that are just thinking, listen, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore, you know? Optic losing, Liquid losing, somebody destroying Nifty in the middle with just a really nice peek. And Renegades very close to losing to TyLoo.
Yeah, this is the most insane kind of loss as well. When you feel like, okay, we're going to go ahead and take a beating to put everything into these buy rounds, and then when the buy rounds are failing you as well, when nothing seems to work, agonizing. Oh, somebody. Well, was it worth it? Not quite. Nexus still alive. JKS flashed white though in there. The shots just raining in from TyLoo, clearing the B site and leaving it in a 5-on-2.
He's still low. I was gonna say trying to do something, but I actually don't know what he was trying to do. It looked like he was trying to push with the smoke with his back turned. It's a bold move.
It's a bold move, Cotton. See if it works. I mean, this is a little bit of a tough one for Renegades to come back from now. And really, I wonder what Kassan is saying right now with Nifty behind. You know, between the 2 of them, what are they coming up with?
Yeah, we should. He's quite silent right now. If someone could get a clip of Kassan, like, you know, looking angry. There should be one that just says like yelling in Serbian underneath like a caption where it just that's incomprehensible to the Renegades team. They're just like, what is he saying?
I'm pretty sure Yanko could commiserate there.
I'll kill all of you. What is this? The 16th round coming up here, and honestly, TyLoo impressing us right now. We are still, it really feels like at sort of the dawn of Chinese Counter-Strike. It has had a really slow takeoff, right? And we know that more investment is going into it. We know that Valve are actually really now investing into it. So it can still happen. Nexa goes down. Random shots coming through. That must be just infuriating. And the bomb is about to be planted here. TyLoo, 5 versus 4.
It's the exact same situation as in the pistol round in the first half, isn't it? Man advantage, TyLoo playing for the retake on A. Now can they do better than Renegades? Can they make it work? Doesn't look like it. It's still a Nifty finding kills left and right. And they're just getting whittled down here, TyLoo. 2-on-2.
Shoot it around. JKS will find a kill. And that will be the end of it. So that's, I mean, at least this works for them now. Just take it slow. Deep breath here. And then try and make it back. I have to point this out. This is a pet hate of mine. Actually, I hate it a lot.
Oh, this one outranks a peeve.
When people plant in that new, like not the default spot, but out in the open, so that it's for main in the A-bomb site. No joke. 99% of the time when the terrorist is planting there, all of his teammates are not covering the angle that's close to the corner. And there's always going to be smoke for forklift, so if there's someone on that corner and he peeks, they just die while they're planting. I have no idea why that happens. It actually causes me physical pain whenever I see it. It's so bad. People have to stop doing that. Either put up a smoke to at least help him plant, or even better, just like stand in front of him. Anything. But people go and hide quad, and they go and hide forklift, and they say, you gotta put the bomb down, it's fine. But like, it's such a big risk.
They're already thinking after plant.
Yeah, they are. And it's like, it works sometimes, but if it doesn't work, you're in trouble.
Oh boy, here we go. The push begins in mid. Somebody eventually finds the headshot on Azza. 3-on-3. Now they have an AK to play with. DD. Let's see, can they get this done?
Oh, maybe it's Mo on the Deagle instead. He's actually on offer, going to be pushing through. He needed the 1 Deagle. That's a brave attempt, but not this time. And JKS taking care of DD. Very good stuff.
I believed in Mo there for a second.
Yeah, I was ready.
That
could have
been
happened.
so sick.
Oh, next kills for somebody. JKS not ready to check it. You can't really blame him. That was an unlikely position.
I like it though. Drops them down to 2 surviving players. They will be able to save the AK eventually on Renegades, but at least they're chaining some rounds together, Anders. It's been a pretty long time since the 5th round of the first half, but Renegades have got 2 rounds in a row. So now we get to see, are they going to be able to keep up this kind of pressure here? It should be another round of eco coming in from TyLoo, considering they forced in this round. And then it's going to come down to whether or not Mo has the money to go for that AWP. It'd be really interesting to see. Or BnTeT as well. I mean, feels like the TyLoo, like they have just a deeper playing, or deeper field right now between all of the players. You know, when you start actually getting guys, you can go for those multi-op sorts of setups. That's where they become even more of a threat, and we'll see when Renegades face them on that CT side, is it going to work?
Somebody single saved AK. How do you get that into the right position? He's just in the... This is sort of, you know, I guess if he gets straight headshots, this is going to be interesting because he could force the rest towards B. But if it goes down, then the rest of his team can't save the AK, and it's sort of a shame, right? But I guess that's just it's just a power play to try and push them into the B bomb side stack.
It seems like it. Because Renegades right now, they are going to put some pressure over here towards A. That bomb can still swing either way, however. And there we go. Somebody finds a kill on Nifty. Is that going to deter Renegades? The only thing is they've only seen the AK on this side of the map. On short and on A site, they've only seen the AK. They only know they've got 1. Renegades, that is. They know that TyLoo have only saved 1 AK. And it's looking like this is a sick call coming in from Renegades. They're like, right, if there's only the 1 AK over here, we'll just run them over.
Yeah, and they're not wrong either. They have got kind of low utility, but doesn't look like they're going to be needing it very much anyway. Pretty deep smoke towards highway. Somebody instantly goes down. And just to point out again, look, he's planting the bomb, and there's no one covering that angle. I mean, this time it's incredibly unlikely that anyone would be there. I still hate it. It still makes me angry.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That can get... it's like planning Courtyard Mirage or CT Mirage.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, at least in that case, sometimes you have so many angles to cover as a T that it's really hard to get the plant in, but this one is like, what are you doing quad anyway? Like, what goal are you accomplishing at quad when your guy is planting? It doesn't make any sense. JKS will end up getting the kill on DD, and that's 6-12 now, still in favor of TyLoo, of course, and they will be able to buy into this round. Although with a slightly less impressive round than the one that Renegades had at this point in the game in the first half. That's worth taking note of. No Molotovs, no Diffuse Kit currently picked up either.
No AWP.
No AWP.
Well, okay then. But they do go for the rifles. I am a bit surprised to see that they don't go for a couple of UMPs mixed in here to get those kits in play, get a better nade count as well. To go 5 rifles like this, it leaves you a bit exposed. It's going to come down to the headshots and nearly picking one up. Nifty misses his shot, but he gets tagged down to 78 in mid. Some early mid aggression coming in here from Renegades, and they are in time to actually take advantage of that Molotov. So a little bit cleaner when it comes to making use of their utility.
Sneaking in Asa by the squeak door. Such a powerful position if you're good at playing it. There are some players that are sort of notorious for being able to lurk around there and just find headshots at fork or even up the railing. They've made their way into the middle. Somebody, there's a whole host of terrorists coming in, and he only gets the one frag. DD out in the open, a bit of an off angle. He actually almost transfers it on, but he runs out of bullets and gets taken down by Nifty. Still a 3-on-3.
How sick was that? It does get canceled out. There might be a gap there to take advantage of. Mo hoping that they're just going to run across. BnTeT is here. All 3 players now for TyLoo right outside of the B site. So they're going to have a maximum amount of time to work with in order to get this retake underway. Sadly, though, he doesn't go through headshot to get that bomb planted. JKS, but it is the flash. BnTeT runs right in. 2 players here, and there's the fight. 1 trade. It's just not going to be good enough. The crossfire, too solid there between Checkered and the bomb site itself.
12-7 now. Only a 5-round gap. And TyLoo, their money is not looking good. They seem to have lost a lot of steam. And this is a story that keeps repeating itself in these best of ones. We saw a lot yesterday on Inferno, but it can happen on any map. And yeah, the CT side, just so many of these, what can we say, up-and-coming teams just really struggle having good CT sides. It feels like getting the T side tactics down is a much more it's a much more realistic thing for them to do than the CT side. It just takes way longer, and it's much harder to really have a solid hold on CT on all maps, it seems.
Yeah, it seems like we're just seeing more and more T side rounds getting picked up in these halves. Kind of flipping the game on its head right now, Anders.
Yeah, but I really think it is something that happens, a symptom of being outside of the top 6 in the world, you know. Like, I think that might even be what really makes the top 6 have a bit of an edge, is that they have that CT side that can be really, really powerful. Some of these T sides are really good for these teams, and they're really well coordinated. JKS gets walked right in on. That's a bit of a shame, but hopefully they can just stop the AK from being picked up anyway. Quite a bit of damage being put into TyLoo.
And DD barely makes it out alive as well. That Kevlar paying off for him. And Renegades no closer, although that kill on DD, he's just trying to change it up, hoping that Azad rotated off. Not the case. Still a man alive. That's BnTeT on the A site. And they're just kind of divided at this point. And this is where you really want to start seeing them take a risk. Mo rotate A, BnTeT rotate B, but try and get the 2 players on one site and hope that Renegades are going to run into them. Maybe you'll be able to do a bit of a better job. Instead, it's going to be looking a bit grim here for TyLoo in this round.
I'm guessing BnTeT right now is thinking, God, I hope they don't throw any Molotovs to my position, because then I can, you know, surprise them. And Mo is thinking, maybe I can replay Nico's highlight from this B bomb site. He's right in that position. So yeah, I think they will Molotov BnTeT though, and that should be the end of the round. If they don't, UMP could be interesting, but yeah, bad luck. That's not good. They had 3 Molotovs anyway, so it would actually have been a... I would have ripped them if they had not thrown the Molotov. I was ready for it mentally, but good job on Renegades. Good job on Azar as well. That will be 8-12. Now some money back in TyLoo's pockets.
They're starting to get a bit warmed up here as well. It's not only JKS who's sitting at the top of the teens. As a 15-1-15 so far for him, so he's definitely kind of woken up a little bit into the second half.
Wow.
Seems fairly consistent across the board for Renegades.
Yeah, it does.
8-12. Is this actually going to happen, though? Where Renegades are able to get this chokehold on TyLoo. TyLoo have yet to pick up a single round so far in this second half. Is this it right here? Because they have everything. They've got Mo on that AWP now, and he's been hitting shots with it. Yesterday we saw a bit. So we need to see him actually kind of step up here and have that impact that TyLoo need right now to break the chokehold.
Yeah. Flash into the middle. It looks like they could have almost caught Asa there with a peek from vent. But not quite. DD is there. Somebody is in checkered. Some good grenades toward checkered could really ruin TyLoo's day right now, because they wouldn't be able to back each other up too well if just a couple of good Molotovs rain in. I think that's one that's going to land behind DD, but there's nothing to force him out of the event, so he's just going to stick around. Asa pushing in, gets a headshot on BnTeT. Somebody's gone down, and actually, there's finally going to be a kill happening in favor of TyLoo there. DD picking up the one on Asa. Is it enough, though? Renegades are on the B bomb side, and the retake, they have 2 Molotovs and a smoke. It's possible, but not easy.
No.
It looks like they're going to back off.
Yeah, this feels like it's the correct decision, although DD is deciding to get a little bit closer. Still hungry for some of those kills, it looks like, because he is going to take up a spot right outside of B halls. And really, I mean, if you're going to save, just save. Get on the other side of the map. It's not exactly worth it being in a one-and-done sort of position like this for DD. There's no way for him to back off. He gets 1 kill, sure, but if there's 2 guys coming, he should get traded, and then that's it. His M4 is gone. But still, I mean...
9-12. I mean, the really concerning thing is that a bunch of the rounds in the first half were pretty close for Renegades, you know? Even if they lost them, they managed to get it close. These rounds seem more or less effortless for Renegades. Like, they're not... There's almost no pressure on them early in the rounds. They're allowed to sneak into middle or anywhere that they want, pick a fight, win it, and then off they go, you know? I like to see TyLoo try and take some map control. Counter boost middle, although that's really rare nowadays, but then push 2 men out B. You know, actually put up a smoke yourself and then flash your way through that smoke outside B and take that B control. I think that'd be pretty cool. Something like that.
We're going to have that AWP in play over towards B again. Mo and DD. Looks like it's going to be the duo there. Somebody, again, going aggressive, this time with an actual buy. And there's the shot from Mo. It pays off. Some aggression towards that B side is going to destabilize things here for Renegades.
Well played.
Indeed. Now look, I mean, Ustillo, now he has to worry about vents. He has nothing to go off of. Whoa, whoa, whoa. HC, calm down.
Bit of panic. That's very well done. Like that, it's, I think, exactly the right move for Mo, and it buys them so much space to work with here, TyLoo. Now can Renegades find a way back in the round? Nifty's hoping that someone's going to come and peek him, but right now everybody more or less is in a position where they can't get shut down. Maybe a good wall bang on HC from Nifty could work out. And now the counter boost is coming in. They're doing everything I want. I love it.
Oh my god. Oh, if you go now. Ooh. Oh yeah! What Nexa? What a shot!
That's really quick. And now they're going to try and do it again. They obviously realize that someone must have been there to push him up. But yeah, TyLoo were pretty much doing what I was hoping for, so still working out pretty well for them. 30 seconds left, and there's a 3-man stack towards the A-bomb side. They should win this round, TyLoo. If there's any mistake from Renegades, it's going to be game over. Nifty, though, can never count him out. He's so incredibly fast with this AWP. DD picks up a kill. Nifty going to go down. Now Nexa dropped by HC. That's 13 rounds for TyLoo. And just the change, just the fact that they took control, it slowed Renegade down so much. And then they actually did it again in the last 40 seconds. Really well done, I think. Really good call on TyLoo's side.
Now the question is, do they start getting aggressive on the other side of the map? They start going for flashes into A main. How passively are Renegades going to play? Wondering if this is going to happen. We're going to get a replay here of how quick Nexa was. Just whips around and gets that headshot. Definitely a chance there for somebody to get a double spray. But DD, he gets one of his own. Well played on his part. 13-9, TyLoo in the lead. Renegades with a full buy, however. And this is the big A play, it looks like, here for Renegades. They're all stacked up and ready to go. Whoa! But that was close enough, as I heard that.
Yes. 100%. And now, it's so hard to deal with, though. You can obviously go and peek it, but instead it's going to be BnTeT pushed into main, gets a triple spray down. Incredible control, and it's the quad kill, shutting down Renegades. And now 1 kill away from getting 14 rounds here for TyLoo. BnTeT, he's not really been invisible this game, but he hasn't been the superstar that we've heard so many rumors about. JKS trying to push in, and he's going to shut down HZ, but what a flashbang, and what a follow-up with the AK-47.
Still low. Here, watch.
And here's what's really upsetting to Renegades, right? Because you're absolutely right. For sure, they heard the boost. So all of their attention, like, I wish we can, I hope we can get this in an interview later. I think what happens is Renegades, they hear the boost, and then they have like a 4-second conversation with like, hey, what are we going to do? Like, should we challenge him, or should we just go somewhere else? And then while just in those 4 seconds, flashes in, and they're all dead. You know, that's really interesting.
You'd never expect aggression when a boost is in play. Because the whole point is the element of surprise. Like, he's just supposed to wait there, bait you into the site, and he gets a kill, maybe 2.
Yes.
The fact that BnTeT then just decides, hey, guys, look at that. He even caught them with nades in their hands. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's actually quite intelligent, even if it's sort of, you know, a bit counterintuitive. It's quite smart.
That's soul-shattering if you're Renegades, though. You're getting back into it. You're feeling like things are going your way. And now TyLoo, through aggression and clever play, have bodied you 2 rounds in a row.
Grenades in the middle here. We're moving into the 24th round, and Mo is being forced out, but there's really no one there that can pick up on it, and he's just going to go back again. That can be a very good idea if you go back to a spot that's already been Molotov, because in the minds of the players, I mean, sometimes they check, but sometimes they forget about it. And the pressure is on right now for Renegades. It could be one of those times where they could make a mistake. Wow. I thought they were making the comeback, Renegades. I really did. They just won. They won 6 rounds in a row they've been in this half. Now they've just lost 2 and are very close to losing the game.
It's looking grim for sure. And TyLoo with the full buy, still holding on to a good amount of their utility as well, not overcommitting. Whereas Renegades, I mean, it's, you know, they're deciding they're going to have to go for some kind of explosive play, given the fact that they have 2 players with Tech 9s here. It's not all rifles, it's not all long-range duels. They have the AWP on Nifty,
but he has no armor. I'm actually a bit concerned that he's standing where he is, just because Mo has an HE grenade, so he's going to be boosted up really slowly here, but again, the lack of armor against the orb not going to matter too much. Flashbang is in, missing a shot, in fact. That's interesting, and Nifty, with the help of a teammate, he's going to get the kill, but goes down afterwards. Still, push onto the B-bomb site here. Somebody in checkered. He's going to pick up the bomb at least in 24 seconds now. DD hiding close to the entry point. He's going to drop the bomb one more time, and now HC almost getting down as there's just 16 seconds left.
Fantastic work from Renegades, never slowing up. Takes the fight, but the angle is there. JKS wins that duel. If he doesn't get it, it's almost over for Az at that point. With so little time left to get the bomb plant.
You wonder as well, I don't know, I don't want to second guess him because it's so hard to play those 1v2s, but he did have a Molotov, right? And there was only 14 seconds, so he couldn't have stopped the, you know, they would have just planted somewhere else, but it would have been interesting if he had tried to go for that play. It would have just had a different result, you know. But yeah, I mean, nice play from Renegades coming back in that round. 10-14, and moving into the 25th round. Scout on Nifty, in spite of the fact that they won the round. That's interesting. TyLoo. Victory is so close for them right now.
Both of these teams have had this in their history. Getting up to the 14th round and struggling to get past it. Now we have the aggression, but they know Azza was close enough in Squeak Door to hear that push into A main, and so an element of surprise is lost here for TyLoo again. They were able to convert that, however, in their favor last time. This is a bit of a tough one. They're just going to patiently wait Renegades to see if TyLoo get impatient, but it's not going to happen. HZ backing off.
And I like this beginning from Renegades. Maybe it isn't as action-packed as we all want, but I think there's no reason to fall prey to any kind of crazy pushes from TyLoo. Good timing for you still to avoid the grenade. Yeah, I think they're playing with a bit more focus right now, Renegades, and you can understand why as well. This forward push from DD and somebody with the crossfire would be is really interesting. And Nexa taking down HC. Mo, who's been doing very well by the sandbags at the moment. They need to come up big here. BnTeT gets a kill. DD almost with the double spray down. And somebody's pushed close. AWP gonna pick up the first kill. JKS with a refrag. And now it's Mo versus JKS. Two of the superstars right now. Both of them top of the scoreboard for their separate teams. The bomb has gone down here. And Mo has managed to flank all the way around. And JKS, you can tell he's got an idea that he's at this side. He's not worried about upper or main at the moment. Instead, just hiding behind here with a double kill. Looking to make it 11 rounds for Renegades. He's almost missed him, but Mo, the timing is so godlike. And JKS, Mo knows definitely where he is. JKS has no idea. Gonna be walking. He still gets the headshot. That's unbelievable. If you saw that whole 1v1 from JKS' point of view, Mo evaded him at every single point, and yet he managed to get his crosshair in the right position. That's actually kind of mad.
Sometimes that's just the way it goes. But you can tell how Kassad was happy about that. Bit of the head bump there with JKS, just like, thank you. Thank you for winning the clutch for us at that point.
Maybe I won't have to kill you guys after all.
Because I'm serious. That could have gone either way. It could be as simple as JKS checking checkered, right? Looking towards checkered instead of looking towards headshot. And there you go. Mo wins it, and we're on match point for TyLoo.
I actually think Mo had a pretty big lead in that 1v1, just because I think he saw his shoulder when he checked back the first time around. So he knew that he wasn't hiding in, way back in the corner, or even had gone upper or something like that. Like Mo couldn't know that at that point in time. He could have just gone upper after the plant. But yeah, very, very impressive from JKS. 22 kills for him, 27 for Mo, who's really having the game of his life right now. But still not enough for a win just yet, and now they're out of money. This is definitely not over.
No, we're going to go the distance. We're getting back into the groove from day one, aren't we?
Absolutely are. Oh, what a shot. Taking down Justillo. He's had a rough game, Justillo, but he's actually managed to keep in pretty well. I thought he was doing much worse on the scoreboard, but he's really done all right for himself, I think. They do almost line up. DD picks up a double with the C-set, 75, and JKS is so low on health. This is an absolute disaster. They will turn it around, but that could have been a lost round right then and there. 12-14. This is madness. This is absolute madness.
I don't even at this point, mate. Like, that was so close. How are TyLoo not able to actually pick up that kill at the end? Going aggressive in the end actually cost them, the man holding in CT. And now they just go for the buy. They show no fear, TyLoo. They're not going to go for a half buy or double eco or anything like that. Straight into the rifles. And, well, Renegades, they are light a little bit on the nades. Nexa not having a nade himself, but then again, the rest of his team are actually pretty well equipped. So it looks like it's going to be that A execute here. Nexa early boost so he can get some pressure into mid. And the rest of his team gathered up. HZ, a little bit of damage there onto Justillo.
Why is it Justillo every time? That's what I don't understand. They're going to boost up on top, though. That's incredibly close. HC, I don't think he realizes how close he was to death. They're going to re-smoke it, but that works against him. Brilliant play from the Australian side. You have to love this. Mo is now trapped in the NBK corner. BnTeT is here to try and help them out, but if they push it, are they not just going to get smoked off from each other? That's the big question here. Renegades really patiently waiting.
Sick in the mind games as well with the sound as of running away. Look at this, they're starting to rotate off. Mo rotated, DD. They had 3 on A. DD's all the way over towards B, just from some footsteps from Azza. What a play.
That's enough to sell it for the moment. 40 seconds though. And now BnTeT. He's going to hear the first grenades coming in. DD starting to get pulled back towards the site. 35 seconds. Counterflash is coming out. BnTeT is going to push behind, and he does, but Justillo will get the kill. Hero play from him. What a shot from Mo to take down to the transfer. It's almost godlike. The bomb will be planted, and in a safe position this time. And DD and somebody now 2 versus 3 pushing in. JK still survives in the corner. That's such a hard position to play if you're completely static. And somebody just in a lot of trouble.
That's such a shame. DD with the bait there. Got to call him on it. Mo took that fight because he was low HP, sacrificed himself because DD was right next to him, and DD hung around that corner like a second before pushing.
Yeah.
So Mo, I think he's got a little bit of a right to get a bit annoyed with his teammate there because he was setting it up for that 2v2. Yeah, still 14-13. I mean, Anders, This is just like the first day. We're going to get another 30-rounder.
Yeah, we've gone back, and this is amazing. Absolutely amazing. 14 to 13, 28th round, and obviously the tactical timeout being pulled here.
Man, 3,000 as well here for TyLoo across the board. So, I mean, Renegades, more than enough money. They have the full buy. TyLoo are in a bit of a tricky position here. Do they risk it and go for the buy, or do they go for the half buy? It's looking like it's going to be that half buy here. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I don't mind this so much. Cash is one of those maps where both the Eagles and CZ75s could be really, really lethal. So they haven't invested everything into it. I think this is a perfectly fine idea for TyLoo. Oh.
Again, it's a still-o.
Every single time. This is the thing. Like, I swear he's been so unlucky in this game, and yet he's got 15 kills. He's actually doing just a fine job at the moment. I would have been full tilt mode if I were you, still-o. Every single peak he's been flashed into, he's died. Every single time he walks past the smoke, someone shoots at him. And yet he's still fighting. Nifty goes down. You're still. Oh my god! Somebody taking every single one. Headshots all around with the Deagle. He goes for more. He nearly gets the quad kill. And now BnTeT on the other side. He's going to tap away, get the one, and there's the win. TyLoo now at 15 rounds. Oh my god, what did we just witness? That's 29th round coming up, and just the utter madness.
Let's go. Oh, that was a bit of a happy moment right there. The three as they come around the corner. Are you kidding me?
I can't believe it.
That was so... I mean, well, there you go. Look at this. He's down to 18 HP. So Astillo, he tagged him already. Double. Finally gets Astillo. Oh.
He actually has a moment to adjust there. Wow.
Oh, man. What do you do if you're Renegades now? Hold on. Okay, let's see what's their money like. They got 3 rifles. Astillo has to go for a Tech 9. Nifty... Looks like he actually dropped an AK for a teammate here.
What a shocking turn of events. Double up on TyLoo's side. Renegades shattered for the moment. They need to find a way to get back in. Like, this is where you really want to see the team come together. Maybe Kassad yell a bit in the background. Fighting for overtime at the moment. And they just gave away a big round there.
If they can come back from this now, Renegades, that'll be monstrous. They deserve to get that OT if they can win this round. But the double op and play now for TyLoo. Mo going to be fully equipped. He's been wreaking havoc and should be having a free one here. But no, DD fluffs it completely. 2 entry kills here for Renegades, or opening kills on the map. And perhaps it's TyLoo who are getting a little nervous. It felt like that was a chance for DD. And Mo gets caught completely off guard by JKS.
Yeah, just a bit of tilt at the end. You can't afford to do that. Once it goes into overtime, it's, I would even say it's probably Renegade's chance to win it, because you're going to be really frustrated. You had a 12-3 first half. So at that point, you know, anything, you should be winning the game, right? If you go from 12-3 to 15-15, you're not thinking, man, it's good we got overtime. You're thinking, what's wrong with us?
Well,
why can't we make this work?
I mean, Peace right now has got to be beside himself. You can imagine for Kassad in the first half. Now imagine how Peace is feeling, where he's like, what?
Yeah. Really rough. Renegades playing this round to perfection even after the initial engagement. I mean, you're not supposed to lose a 2v5, but they made damn sure that they didn't either. Really all grouping up, working together, getting that A-bomb side. And might not sound like a lot, but at this range, no one can afford to make any mistakes.
And I like it for TyLoo as well. They were both on B. Both teams really just doing what they needed to do here, actually, because now that means that both of these players can actually save their guns. I would like to see Renegades actually kind of sacrifice a couple of players, just go out and hunt. So long as 3 of you survive, you're going to be able to drop some guns around. But maybe get Nifty out there, get another AK out and play, and see if you can take this AWP off somebody, or the M4 off of HZ. These would be big kills, because TyLoo, they don't really have a whole lot in the bank. BnTeT has got 4K, but that's pretty much it. The rest of them, it's going to be a very meager force buy.
30th round coming up, ladies and gentlemen, and there is, of course, a tactical timeout being pulled by TyLoo, probably a pretty good idea. This is really difficult. Like, making a call here is not easy, because if you just try something, like for sure, Renegades, if they have any common sense, they'll play this round standard as can be. Default spread, make sure you can't get pushed anywhere. So if you're TyLoo, and this is not a round where if you push B or flash into main or something, you're likely to get very many kills. In fact, more than likely, they'll be ready and waiting for that. So you have to go a level deeper than that, and it's very hard to figure out exactly what that would be. You know, like then it comes up to just some really good calls and some really, yeah, maybe even some innovation coming out of the Chinese side. I would love to see it, but I think otherwise the timeout maybe is more to sort of mentally get everyone ready, get them into a good frame of mind. They are actually 3 men towards B pushing out, and JKS, he hurt a bit. He's fallen back. He didn't want to try and hold it himself. That's actually not a bad idea. And now he's just going to go and cover it and make sure they're not pushing in. So he heard the steps for sure. And Didi and Mo are still going to try and push it, actually. Oh, this is very interesting. JKS, he's got the angle against them. They pushed out, but his jumping pattern, I'm not sure if he's seen them or not.
I think, yeah, I'm wondering myself. He might have no idea that somebody's holding close.
Look, because they have DD now in the sunroom, they can push more people towards middle and A. Oh, this is... I would say that's a huge risk for TyLoo, because it could have just as well been the Renegades have been there waiting. But it does work out. Justillo in the middle, almost shut down by the Deagle, but Azza was there to help out. Now BnTeT pushing in, hitting a headshot on Extra and dropping the bomb. Everything rides on this for Renegades. AWP shot missing. Justillo picks up one, but BnTeT still alive to get it now. 3-on-3, and Didi, ages ago he was pushed out here. Now he's going to get the kill on JKS, and that's huge. He's the top fragger. The bomb is in, and there's a single player on the B bomb site with the bomb. Still trying to get in there is Nifty with the AWP. Jumps down and makes a bit of noise. Still in checkered, waiting. Bomb is not planted, and now it's down. Azer's out, and now Nifty in a 1 versus 3. TyLoo. It took them a long time to get here, but they will defeat Renegades 16-14 on cash. Day 2 of the PGL major qualifier. What an absolutely intense game, and what a victory for Chinese Counter-Strike and for the Chinese in general. That's really cool.
Given the history between both of these teams, the fact that Renegades have historically always trounced TyLoo, it's been close perhaps, but I mean, it's just all this history of CSGO where Renegades have been the dominant force in Asia. For now, TyLoo to beat them in a best-of-1, go the distance, and show the grit and the perseverance and pick up that win. It is a huge step forward here for TyLoo in this qualifier. Renegades, though,
I mean,
it's painful. This is painful.
Yeah, especially if you put it into the context of the game yesterday against Flipside, where, I mean, I was sort of rooting for Flipside a bit, mostly because of nostalgia. But I honestly think they should have won that train game yesterday. Like, I think Renegades, in most senses, looked like the better team on that train map, and here they could have probably won it. Now they're 0-2. Things are looking real rough here for the Australian team. This is a really shocking turn of events. All the games today have been going the opposite way of what we were expecting.
How do you fix that, though, right? If you're Kassad, if you're Nifty right now, I mean, how do you fix that sort of thing where your team are clearly able to get out ahead, they're able to do tremendous work, and then there's no finisher.
Yeah.
It's just like they're lacking the key component, that mental component. And it feels like this has been an issue with Renegades forever, for a long time.
Yeah. I think, honestly, there's sort of two big things. Maybe the panel would agree in a second. I think Nifty didn't find enough shots, and I think also Justillo had some missed opportunities. Those two things would have pushed them over the edge, I think. Not to pull all the blame on them, but what a rough turn of events.
I hope if Justillo didn't get shot through the smoke every single time.
And also that. But, you know, we'll leave it to the experts to decide exactly what happens. They are ready, and so is Paul. Take it away.
Thanks very much, Anders. Yes, they are ready indeed. What a match. We expected some fireworks. We got some fireworks. We expected some sloppy Counter-Strike. We got some sloppy Counter-Strike, but my goodness, it was fun to watch. 16-14, it goes all the way yet again for both teams. They both went to overtime yesterday. Today it almost happened again, but it's TyLoo that have come out on top. Gents, in the end, TyLoo have got there. I guess it could have gone either way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a part of the sports package that's called Renegades TyLoo that it's going to be all over the place. Renegades still doing so many little mistakes. I think the two defining ones would have to be early parts where they pushed A main, pop flash in, or TyLoo had a scrappy buy. They pay a price for it, and then towards the tail end there, where somebody gets that 3-kill with the deagle, they go through B main into B. They flash over the window, but no one flashes through B main, and they just get bodied by somebody there. Those kind of little things, they start ramping up, and then it's over.
Yeah, I think some of the facial expressions in this as well will tell a tale all of its own, because there's a lot of frustration on the Renegades side. And TyLoo actually, even in the rounds they were losing, they were smiling, they were joking, they were getting on well.
Yeah, it's because those are some fundamental mistakes that you're making. I mean, the round that Nato was referencing, it was 4-2. Renegades just won 2 rounds in a row, and you decide to go aggressive into A main, pop flash in. I mean, if TyLoo has a scrappy buy, or even if they're equal, Tech 9, one of the most common strats is smoke A, try to get the bomb down. That's why you see all the good cash teams in rounds like that. They just play for the retake. They don't even risk it. They concede the plan because you can see how it can come back to haunt you. If you lose a rifle or two, they lost the AWP as well. Then the T's get the bomb down, and then they actually are favored to win the round. Long range AWP, and I think that's the round that really crushed Renegades in that first half.
Yeah, first half. Not
and this,
good.
This is very important. Like this round from BnTeT, obviously a great round, but you can see the difference when they pop flashed him. He takes the chance. It's very important for you to not miss the first 3 or 4 bullets, because if that happens, people are obviously, the flash is gonna clear and they're gonna just kill you. That's what happened to Renegades, and we saw. I mean, Justillo had
this round, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you. This round typifies pretty much everything that is right and wrong about TyLoo's play.
Yeah, somebody gets the 3 kills, and then these teammates just go and take wide-angle peeks. Eventually, luckily for them, BnTeT, though, does take the slack. He gets the last 2 kills. As you can see, super happy about it, obviously, too. And that was, towards the tail end, pretty much sealing the deal.
There's just another grave mistake from Renegades. You go for an execute, you use all your Molotovs to clear, areas in the side, back checkers, and then you don't pop flash close. Like if you're playing against Eco, the one thing you need to do is clear close corners. Long range battles are not a problem. You have weapon advantage, but close range, that's a huge problem. And obviously they ran into a stack as well, but...
And also, you want to give credit to TyLoo in the first half. Obviously, a great run of rounds. First of all, they were hitting that A bomb site. The defense from Renegades was having a lot of trouble. They should have maybe played more passively, more towards just trying to retake the bomb site. And then eventually, TyLoo started to focus on middle. Actually had some pretty good mid takes as well. It's well synchronized, well timed, made sure that they were there to help each other out. And usually coming out on top, obviously with the scoreline being what it was, in a man advantage situation.
Yeah,
so
we saw BnTeT having a couple of awesome rounds, but the man that really stood out throughout the game was Mo. I mean, the man, he's the captain Mo, so I guess he...
good and bad.
Yeah, can have his moments. We saw that yesterday, but today, definitely an MVP performance. 30 kills on the board, 19 deaths, and average damage 83.9. Not particularly spectacular, but again, just solid, absolutely every round in the right places at the right time.
Yeah, and was contributing constantly to the team. You see players have flashes, good rounds every now and then, but he was consistent throughout the game, and obviously in a very close game like this, it was one of the most important things for TyLoo to eke out to win.
Yeah, what's the cool thing about Mo in general is that he's very, very good with the op, but he's also very good with rifles, and he can do a lot of different things. He's very good at clutching, just holding forth, so very, very capable player.
Quick shout out for JKS on the Renegade side, 28 for 18, 104.3 ADR as well. That would have been an MVP performance had they won, but teammates not really with him this time round.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing great so far in the tournament, and I mean, consistent and on a very high level, something that we've not seen from him. Perhaps it's been maybe more so in some of their performances, but you wonder, they have that going for them and still they can't get the wins here. I mean, now it's looking obviously very, very grim. They are 0-2 down.
Yeah.
Need 3 consecutive wins to make it into the major.
Yep. Let's talk about those guys in just a minute, because I'm hearing that we have BnTeT joining us from the player area. Good afternoon, BnTeT, and congratulations on a good win.
Hey, thank you. Yes.
A lot of people have been talking about you as one of the star players in Asia over the last few months, and we've all been excited to see you come and play on a LAN tournament here in Europe. How are you dealing with it?
Yes, this is the first time I meet the large team like this, the very big team. that I watched in home before, and now I can meet them. So yeah, I learned so much experience, especially yesterday we lost Liquid. Yeah, learned so much.
Yeah. Is there a lot of pressure on you with all the people talking about you and talking about how great you are?
Yeah, a little bit pressure, of course. But right now, I don't remember what people say. Yeah,
okay.
so just forgot.
All right. How is it with Peacemaker? What sort of advice has he been giving you?
Peacemaker doing really well. They make TyLoo looks more tactical. They, before TyLoo don't know where to go. Like sometimes don't know where to go. Now it's more. Yeah, I think more tactical and more teamwork. Yeah.
Okay, that's good because we've always loved the style that TyLoo have played, and particularly you've fitted in really well with them. I've got Yanko and Natu with us. Have you got any questions for BnTeT?
Yes, just to see like how is it for you so far? How's the experience playing with TyLoo so far?
The experience is really important to me because before I joined TyLoo, I will not get this so much experience, and right now I come to TyLoo and learn some Chinese and meet some amazing players. So the experience is the most important to me.
I'm wondering if you guys planned going for cash actually, because the last 2 times you played Renegades at the minor, you lost cash both times. And was it just like you knew that if you leave it in, they're going to go for the map and you just prepared extra for it?
Actually, Peacemaker know that the map will be catch, like yesterday versus Liquid. He know that the map will be Inferno. So we prepare so much for catch as today. And before, we thought that it's going to be train or catch, but we gonna ban train, so yeah, we prepare for catch.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I was going to ask you as well, one last question before we let you go. Having to learn the Chinese and fit into the team, how is that working for you right now?
Like 20%.
20%? Okay, so you got more study to do on the Chinese then?
Of course.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. It's great to speak to you, and we've really enjoyed watching you play. We look forward to seeing how you get on over the next 2 days.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, BnTeT. TyLoo winning their first game of the tournament so far. They're a couple of games away from qualifying, and it's great to have a player like BnTeT on the show as well. And get to kind of see these players and speak to these players, because it's sometimes tough. We talk about them as players in the game, and it's a virtual space. It's nice to humanize them as well.
Yeah, for sure. And he's definitely taken a different route in a sense where he's joined a team with 4 people that, one of them talks English, 3 of them really don't.
Yep.
His English is obviously, it's pretty okay, but still, it's not perfect. So, I mean, he's obviously a very skilled player, but that challenge he's uptaken it's just, I admire it.
Yeah, cool. I mean, he said 20% of his Chinese. I mean, I guess he's just learning position names right now in Chinese, and that's about all he can do, isn't it?
Probably just to make it easier for his teammates. I mean, imagine if the one guy that speaks English is dead, and then he has to translate for the other guy, making a call. That's just maybe a second or 2 that you lose, and you really can't afford that in a game like CS. So
in a way, that makes it more impressive, doesn't it? That they're playing at this level already, and he's playing obviously. I mean, he's fitted in really well. Sometimes it's like you get a good player. It's good in his team that he's in or in where he's playing, moves to a new team with language issues, with play style issues, where sometimes you don't always see the best of them. He seems to have just dropped into this team perfectly.
I mean, one of the examples is Machine Gun from the Mongols. When he went over to Splice, and we saw what he was capable of in Mongols, having great performances, but moving over to a different region and having to speak in English proved to be, a barrier that he couldn't overcome in the time that he was given.
Yeah, and BnTeT certainly doing that. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We are headed to a break once more, but of course still more Counter-Strike action. Here's what's coming next.